You're being so secretive. How could you keep such an event to yourself?
During a friendly farewell dinner, an unexpected pair of guests, though calling them unexpected might be too impolite, appeared. They were, without a doubt, the two people I dreaded seeing the most. My daughter, Emily, and I exchanged panicked glances. Did you invite them?
No. At least, I don't think so.
Emily excused herself and went to check with the organizer.
Did you invite them?
No, absolutely not. Never. No way.
Well, waiter, add 2 more seats to the table. Oh, and don't worry, I'll cover the cost for 4 people.
One of them said with a smug grin. My name's Teresa. I'm 60 years old. Today, I came here to attend a farewell party for my 22-year-old daughter, Emily, who's about to study abroad. It was organized by her college classmates. To make it a special event for Emily's bright future, everyone pitched in to rent out a fancy hotel restaurant for the occasion. Yet, somehow, my brother-in-law and his wife, Marie, crashed the event. I could imagine how they found out. The organizer happened to be their son, Dave. But I couldn't believe Dave would have invited them. After all, this was a gathering for college students only. The only reason I was invited was because Emily insisted that she wanted to bring me, who raised her all by myself. So, despite being an event for college students, they made an exception and invited me, the only adult here besides the students. Sure enough, when Emily asked Dave, he confirmed that he hadn't invited them.
Oh, just put their seats across from Emily and Teresa. The young folks can sit together,
Marie said, forcing a young couple to vacate their spots so she and her husband could plop down right across from us. Even though it's a fancy hotel with such a big group, today's event was buffet style.
Well, as you probably guessed, our son was working on all these arrangements. So we found out about it and decided to come along. You're being so secretive, not inviting us,
Marie said with a sly grin.
But today's really just a gathering for college students.
But you're here, aren't you, Teresa?
Marie cut Emily off mid-sentence. And then Marie continued.
You know, you could have just consulted us. I mean, it's fine for Emily since she's the one being celebrated. But Teresa, surely affording a place like this must have been hard for you financially, right? Teresa, I feel bad for you. Even though you're struggling financially, Dave went and reserved a high-end restaurant like this.
Marie's husband, Cody, chimed in.
That's right. As family, we need to help out struggling relatives, don't we?
With that, Cody pulled out his wallet and took out 10 $100 bills. To my shock, he tossed them onto the table. The bills fluttered down, scattering across the surface.
Pick it up, you poor mother and daughter.
Marie burst into loud, obnoxious laughter. Her laugh was so loud that even the college students around us began to notice. The room gradually fell silent. Yet, ignoring the tense atmosphere, their voices carried on with their cruel taunts.
You know, looking at you two, you don't even look like mother and daughter. With you being such an older mom, you could easily pass as grandmother and granddaughter. Poor Emily, I feel sorry for her.
Ever since your husband passed and you closed down his real estate business, you haven't left the house, have you? No wonder you've aged so much. Poor Emily. With a mom like this, caregiving isn't far off, is it? Hey, when Emily graduates, maybe I'll take her as my second wife. A woman's value drops with late marriage, you know.
Oh, stop it. We've got 3 kids, but this old lady only managed 1 daughter. With her genes, there's no way that kid will amount to much.
Marie pointed her chin at the scattered money on the table.
Honestly, it's so pitiful. Having an unemployed, elderly mom must be so hard on the kid. Poor Emily. Is that why she's fleeing the country? I totally get it. I feel for you. Oh, and this is for the road. Go ahead, pick it up.
The room had fallen completely silent. I glanced at Emily. She was frozen in place. Sensing all eyes on them, Marie took it up a notch.
Why aren't you picking it up? Oh, do you need more money? Is it not enough? I mean, it must take a lot to support your unemployed mom, especially with caregiving costs coming up.
Marie took out 5 more $100 bills. This time, she dropped them onto the floor.
Pick it up.
Emily stood up. Maybe she thought this would end only if she complied. The room was completely quiet, everyone watching. Or so I thought.
Thanks, Marie.
Splat.
What?
Marie let out a shriek.
As a thank you. Here, have some. That's Lafayette Rothschild, by the way.
The red liquid ran down Marie's face, soaking her dress from shoulder to waist in a diagonal streak. Emily splashed the wine from her glass onto Marie. An audible gasp rippled through the room.
You. How dare you? This dress is expensive.
Don't make such a fuss over dry cleaning costs. You're rich, aren't you?
Emily scoffed and continued, looking at Marie and Cody, who were still stunned.
What's with those faces? You didn't think I'd fight back, did you? Or are you planning to sue me for getting splashed with wine? If you do, I'll countersue you for defamation.
Emily tapped her phone, which was sitting on the table, and an audio recording played.
Hey, when Emily graduates, maybe I'll take her as my second wife. A woman's value drops with late marriage, you know.
The room murmured with unease.
Just so you know, everyone here has heard it. So good luck trying to sue me.
Marie suddenly screamed.
What? A recording? From the beginning? You suspected us? Recording us like this proves you don't trust us at all. We're family.
Trust?
Emily turned a cold gaze toward Marie.
That never existed. Not from the start. I've seen it all since I was a kid. After Dad died, you and your husband bullied my mom every time you saw her. Calling her old, unemployed, a hag. If people like that show up here, of course, I'd hit the record button. If you're upset about trust, maybe start by asking yourselves if you're the kind of people anyone could trust.
Emily's eyes were completely cold.
I'm sorry, Emily.
A voice suddenly cut in, and a figure rushed to the table.
Steve!
It was Dave.
Mom, Dad, what the hell are you doing? I'm so sorry, Emily. I never thought it would come to this.
Frantically, Dave began picking up the $100 bills scattered across the table and floor.
No.
Emily's icy gaze didn't waver.
Dave, that's not for you to pick up. Put it back on the floor.
Emily?
Don't worry. Thank you. I know how much effort you put into organizing this event. I'm grateful to you. But that doesn't mean I can forgive these two.
Emily's frozen stare softened ever so slightly, and she smiled faintly at Dave. Dave's cheeks flushed red, and he quietly placed the bills back on the floor. It's clear he has feelings for Emily. I could see it. Emily turned her gaze back to Marie and Cody, her expression freezing over again.
So, Marie, you said I'm fleeing the country because my life is so pathetic, didn't you? Don't make assumptions about why I'm studying abroad. I'm going to France to study architecture. Did you know? French universities are all public. Do you have any idea how much effort it took for me to get into one of those schools? Don't reduce my hard work to some cheap phrase like fleeing the country.
Then Emily turned her gaze to me.
So what if my mom had me at an older age and raised me as a single parent? Because she was older, she showered me with love. No matter what, she always told me she loved me and hugged me tightly. At every school event, she ran harder than anyone in the parent relay races, just so no one could call her old. Even when she lost her husband, the first thing she did was hold me close and tell me she loved me. She always said, "You don't have to try so hard. I'll work hard for the both of us." Even during the toughest times in her own life, she always put me first.
Her words brought tears to my eyes. The things I'd done as a parent, thinking they were just natural, had meant so much to her. I felt overwhelmed with joy. Perhaps overcome by emotion, Emily suddenly shouted,
Hey, you mock my mom for having me at an older age, but do you think you could have done everything she has? Don't pity us or assume anything about us when you don't know a thing.
Emily. I tapped Emily on the shoulder. Calm down, and thank you. Emily seemed to realize how worked up she had gotten. She took a deep breath and regained her composure. Then, turning to me, she said,
It's your turn now, Mom. Tell them why you came here.
She's right. After all that Emily has said, it's my turn to step up as her mother. I exhaled deeply. This wasn't the day I had planned for this. But after everything that had happened, there was no other choice. I called over a waiter. Please bring the manager here. Just tell them Teresa Oakley needs to speak with them. The waiter's eyes widened slightly before he quickly replied, right away, and hurried off. A few minutes later, a tall man appeared. His commanding presence made it clear he was the hotel's general manager, even before he introduced himself. The manager walked up to me.
Thank you for dining at our restaurant today. My name is Kyle Henley, the general manager.
I addressed him with a single phrase. I will provide my support. The manager let out a relieved sigh and expressed his gratitude deeply. Thank you so much. Marie and Cody stared at the scene, mouths agape. Ignoring their reaction, I addressed the manager. I've reviewed everything, from the professionalism of your staff and the cleanliness of the hallways to the clear markings in the parking lot and the up-to-date fire alarms. The attention to these details makes this a project well worth investing in.
Thank you. Having your support, Teresa, is incredibly reassuring for our hotel. We are truly honored to have been chosen by you.
However, I continued, these two people are to be permanently banned from entering this hotel.
What?
Marie and Cody's eyes widened in shock. I'll explain why in a moment. Once I give you the signal, please have them escorted out. The manager nodded.
When you're ready to have them leave, please inform one of our staff members nearby.
With another polite nod, he excused himself and left. I watched the manager leave before turning my gaze back to Marie and Cody, who were now so stunned they looked like they might collapse. Now, before you're kicked out, let me explain how things got to this point. I addressed the two of them. Yes, when my husband passed away, I did close down his real estate business. But I believed it was my responsibility to carry on his legacy. At the same time, I didn't want to leave home while my daughter was still in school. So, I decided to stay home and study real estate investing. For a while, I worked from home as a real estate agent. Now, I purchase properties myself and invest in them. Sure, even during my studies and after starting my real estate ventures, I spent a lot of time at home. However, for every property I aid or purchase, I always personally inspect the location. So, I wasn't home all the time. These days, being unemployed isn't necessarily defined by whether you go to an office or not. I had never once told Marie and Cody I was unemployed. When they asked, "Do you go to an office?" I simply answered, "No, I don't." It was Marie and Cody who jumped to the conclusion that I was unemployed. With real estate, there are properties that profit, what we call winning deals, and properties that don't, or losing deals. The key is knowing how to distinguish between the two. After carefully evaluating this hotel, I concluded that it's a winning deal. That's why I informed the manager of my decision to invest. Emily picked up where I left off.
Now you get it, don't you? Mom had already set her sights on this hotel. And since Dave went out of his way to rent this buffet dinner to make me happy, it turned into a perfect opportunity for her to evaluate it. Of course, I also wanted to show my gratitude to Mom for everything she's done for me. But tell me, Marie Cody, have you ever worked hard enough or studied enough to be able to invest in a place like this? You haven't, have you? Yet you sit there mocking her, calling her unemployed and old. It's people like you, ignorant and shameless, who embody the very definition of disgraceful.
Marie could no longer say a word. She just sat there, trembling. Suddenly, a loud voice broke through the tense silence.
Pick up the money.
I turned to see Dave. He looked both heartbroken and furious, his expression complicated.
What were you thinking? I worked so hard planning this so Emily could be happy and everyone could send her off with smiles. And you had the nerve to eavesdrop on my plans, show up uninvited, and then pull this garbage? You didn't even consider how I'd feel. Pick up the money and get out.
Dave didn't even try to pick up the money himself anymore. Perhaps shocked by their son's outburst, Marie and Cody's hands shook as they scrambled to collect the bills scattered on the floor. Watching them crawl on the ground, Emily muttered with disgust.
A greasy, bald, repulsive man. The thought of being his second wife makes me sick.
Then she pressed her stiletto heel onto one of the bills.
I can't pick it up.
Cody muttered, tugging at the bill with a shaky hand.
I'll move my foot if you apologize to my mom.
By now, everyone in the room was glaring down at Marie and Cody with disdain. Under the weight of those stares, Cody finally croaked out.
Teresa, I'm sorry. Please, let me pick it up.
His voice cracked and wavered. Emily gave a derisive snort and finally lifted her heel. With the bill now marked with her heel's imprint in hand, Marie and Cody hastily and silently fled the room. The waiter who stood nearby didn't even say thank you as they passed. Then, from someone in the crowd, applause broke out.
Emily, good luck in France.
You got this, Emily.
Emily smiled brightly, clearly touched. Seeing her surrounded by such supportive friends made me so happy, I couldn't hold back my tears. Amid the chaos, someone murmured, "Her mom's amazing," and that, too, filled me with pride.
I'm really sorry.
After the party ended, Dave apologized.
It's okay.
Emily said with a smile.
The food was delicious. And thank you for planning this and inviting my mom too. Dave, you were kind of cool back there.
Hearing Emily say that, Dave scratched his nose, clearly embarrassed. Later, Emily told me that she received an airmail letter from Dave. He wrote that he had moved out to live on his own. He also mentioned how many of their college friends lived at home and how the hotel incident had become known to their families. As a result, Marie and Cody had been forced to move. That's what it seemed to say. Strangely, the letter also included a 4-leaf clover with a note saying, "I found this." Found it, huh? How cute. I felt like I'd received a little share of happiness too. It seemed like it was going to be a good day. I enjoy checking my emails in between real estate investments. Emily's emails are often filled with stories about France. She mentioned how bakeries there are treated like ambulances, with bakery delivery vans allowed to drive as emergency vehicles. Apparently, French bread is something essential for everyone. A country like that, I'd love to visit someday, or maybe even invest there. And so, today, I look at my computer again,